Game over.
Hello and welcome, this is Raiden back again with a little more Scream 5 talk. Now I just got done watching 3C Films' new update video on the potential opening for Scream 5, that being Selena Gomez as potentially being the opening kill. Now shout out to him, go check out his video, because having just watched that, it actually sparked some ideas in my head as to what could be done and potentially what probably should be done. I don't know, but it's just kind of my opinion and just some new ideas to throw out there. Now, he did say that the Scream openings have become rather formulaic, which is true, but in a sense, it's kind of become a staple of the Scream films. I would kind of probably attest to them being like James Bond opening, where you have your opening action sequence, then you can go to the title sequence, then from there on, you're moving forward with the plot. But with Scream, of course, this is a bit of a different animal that we're dealing with here. How do you change up the game? If they really want to make it fresh, new, and exciting for people, what can you do differently? Well, I had a bit of an idea. Now, I would say you start off with it being, I would say, eerily similar to the opening of the original Scream, especially by this point, it'll be just past the 25th anniversary of the first film. They'll just miss that mark just by a little bit since they're releasing it in January as opposed to December 2021. But that's the spot. But that's beside the point. Anyway, you kind of start off and it's eerily similar to the original Scream opening, where you have the phone call, you have her talking to this person, and you kind of go through the motions there. You have your attack sequence, you have your little chase, but with a bit of a twist. What if the opening sequence actually ends with her getting the one up on Ghostface, therefore Ghostface actually getting killed in the opening sequence? That right there would actually add a nice little shock for the audience and shows that, hey, this is a bit of a different ball game. Things may not go exactly how you might expect them to. And so you have that happen, and it's like, whether Ghostface, he gets stabbed, whether he gets shot, whether he gets thrown off a balcony, whatever, Ghostface winds up dead. And so therefore, considering that it's more than likely taking place in Woodsboro, since they are saying they are going back, and you have the cops show up, you have Sheriff Dewey show up and realize, like, this is a bit of a different circumstance than what I found myself in before. Typically, these guys are masterminds. They have this whole, elongated plan that they look to execute, and usually they get pretty far. But this time around, this Ghostface didn't do so hot. So that leaves you thinking, like, okay, well, where are they going with this now? I mean, typically Ghostface is supposed to get away with this. So, but yeah, you have the cops show up, you have Sheriff Dewey show up, and then him realizing the situation, being like, wait a minute, like, this is not the norm that I'm used to. And so maybe you let a little bit of time go by, and whether or not he, if he's still with Gail, and if they're still living in Woodsboro, and Sydney's off living her life somewhere else, whether they want to say something or not, maybe. But a little bit of time goes on, introducing some characters and stuff like that, some talk of what happened, maybe just trying to keep it on the down low. And then, say, I don't know, Dewey gets the phone call, and he's just like, hello, Dewey. And then he just probably, like, have a little moment, holds the phone to his chest. It's like, damn it, that's right. There's always two killers. Stupid. And he's just, just have like a little Deweyism, like a little Dewey moment right there. And yeah, so you're just like, okay, well, yeah, clearly, yeah, there's got to be a movie. So where are we going from here? And so you have Ghostface talking, alluding to, yeah, there's more to this, but not seeming that concerned. And then maybe it's alluding to the fact that, well, yeah, there is more than one Ghostface killer, and typically there is. Usually it's a pair, right? But what if it's not just a pair? What if it's three? What if it's four? What if it's five? And so therefore, you're now working with a possible Ghostface cult of sorts, maybe? I don't know. It's just an idea. It's like, where now, yeah, now you have multiple people potentially being Ghostface. And so now this sets you up for a whole new ball game. I mean, now you have like all these people that could potentially be Ghostface, and then once you sort of get everybody together, you can play off of what they've done before, but to a greater level where you play off that distrust with one another. Like everyone's just looking at each other, be like, okay, there's like I'm like I hate you. It's like people getting into fights and just like how do I know you're not the killer? You're not the killer. I mean, maybe I don't know. Could it be too much? Potentially, but of course, if you want to take it to a new level, if you really want to refresh the franchise and do something a bit differently, then well, maybe this is potentially the direction to go in. This way, you're changing things up, you're playing with people's expectations right from the start, you're setting up a whole new ball game, and really a lot of wiggle room to play around with for future films. If you want to set up a trilogy, there you go. I mean, you're setting yourself up for, again, not just kind of the same old, same old. It's like, okay, how many killers does Sydney know in her life? How many is she going to know? Is she going to be dealing with this until she's an elderly woman? You know, so this way, again, you're kind of dealing with just that level of crazy that's just within, you know, a certain amount of people out there, like a cult. I mean, people who are wanting to follow this lore of previous Ghostface, and they just, again, just as a group, they want to carry this on as opposed to some elongated plan as to trying to get to Sydney and trying to completely ruin her life. This is potentially the way to go. I mean, it's just an idea. It's just an idea. Could they do that? Will they do that? Who knows? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's something to work with? What's your idea? Hell, you could even end on a phone call to Sydney and be like, "Hello, Sydney. It's a new ball game, new expectations." And then, bam, cut the credits right there. Because as you all know, that subverting expectations, it's all the rage these days. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you would. I would greatly appreciate it. And we will see you next time. Bye for now.